Hello, welcome back to Kirk Kooks. Thought we'd revisit the sort of Friday Night Fakeaway theme this week. We're going back for a Chinese dish. It is going to be the crispy shredded sweet chili beef. That is one of my favourite dishes to order when I order a Chinese. So I thought we'd give that a crack today and see how it turns out if we make it ourselves. I'm going to do a few sides with this, but I'm not really going to cover them in the video. One of them you've seen before, my sweet Chinese pork. I did that in one of the videos quite early on in the channel. I'll put a link to it at the very end of the video, so you can just click on that if you want to go back and give that one a look if you've not seen it before. Really good dish. I'm just going to do a smaller portion of that today to go alongside this. And then another thing I saw recently on the internet was there was a couple of news articles actually raving about these salt and pepper chips from Iceland, these Chinese style salt and pepper chips. Like there's quite a few reviews on them saying they taste just like the ones you get from the Chinese. So I managed to get hold of a pack of them. And I thought we'd sort of just give them a try. Obviously that's just whacking something in the oven, but so we'll sort of do a little mini review of them and see if they're as good as some of the reviews were saying they were. Probably just do a bit of rice or some noodles or something with this. I'm undecided, to be honest, so far. We'll find out what I do with it at the end. So let's crack on with making this crispy shredded sweet chili beef, shall we? Okay, so the first thing is we've got a nice big 12-ounce sirloin steak. Just going to trim this layer of fat off of this. Take that away. And then we just want to slice this up into strips. Now, if like me you've got quite a thick steak, you can always just go like this, because they don't need to be ridiculously thick, these pieces. They want to be more like that. So I'm just going to go down the middle of some of these, of the thicker ones, and just trim these again. If you've got a wider but a thinner steak, you wouldn't have to do this. You'd probably be alright just cutting them lengthways once. But this was a really thick steak. So once that's all chopped, we'll just move that over into a bowl. Then we want to get a marinade made up for this. For the marinade, we want 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of ginger paste, 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of caster sugar, half a teaspoon of white pepper, and finally 1 egg. So now we just want to mix all that together. Then once you've done that, you want to leave that to marinate for about 15 minutes. I'm going to give it about an hour. I'm just going to pop it in the fridge and give this about an hour because I really want to get the flavour into this beef. Okay, so while the steak marinades, we can get the sauce ready for this. So the first thing you want is 3 tablespoons of a sweet chilli sauce. To that, add 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and finally half a teaspoon of salt. Just mix all that together. And you can put that aside until we need it later. So then when we come to frying all this lot up in the wok together, we'll want this sauce then. We don't need that right now, so I'm just going to put that aside for now. And then finally, while you're still waiting for your steak to marinate, slice up 1 onion. I've gone for a red onion because I just prefer red onion sometimes. Also chop up some spring onion. And finally a couple of chilies. So that's all that stuff chopped up. So now we're just waiting for the beef to marinate, and then we'll come back to all of this when that's finished. Right, so once your steak's finished marinating, you want to get some cornstarch, or better if you can get potato starch. I've got cornstarch. Then you want to take your steak, put that into the starch. Then you want to get all these pieces covered. Yes, you just want to get all this steak nicely just coated. The starch should just stick straight onto all these pieces of steak because it's all covered in that nice eggy marinade that we made. And once they all look pretty well coated, you're then ready to start getting these fried. These are going to want about 1 minute to 2 minutes each. Not long, and these will be done. And I think we'll call that done. And then I just want to empty these out onto just a tray or something with some paper on it, just to get rid of some of the oil. Just get them nice and spread out onto the paper, and then just leave those for a little bit now, just for the oil to drain off a little bit. This beef is now all ready and it's nice and crispy. It's been fried, it's got a nice little batter sort of thing on it. I finished making my Chinese style sweet belly pork. That's going to be served up with this. Like I say, I've done a video for that in the past. These Iceland salt and pepper Chinese takeaway style chips have been in the oven for a bit now. I now need to add the seasoning onto them and put them back in. So first up, we want to get our onion into the wok. Break that up and give that a couple of minutes in the wok. We want to serve this up with some noodles, so I'm just going to put some noodles on. Okay, now we're ready to add the beef back into this. Give that a quick mix. Then we want to bring that sauce that we made earlier on into this. Get this sauce covering all the meat and the onion. Then in goes our spring onion. Get that mixed in. Bit of chilli. Mix all that together and this is done. That's it. Finished crispy shredded sweet chili beef. So that's everything finished that I'm serving up with this shredded crispy sweet chili beef. I'm just going to dish this all up really quick. And obviously we want some of our shredded crispy sweet chili beef. And this does look really nice, it smells really nice. I'm quite looking forward to giving this a taste. And we'll try a few of these Iceland salt and pepper Chinese style chips. There you have one Friday Night Fakeaway Chinese. See, look, the shredded crispy beef looks really good. Nice crispy bits on there and everything. I think it's going to be really nice. Right, so let's give this lot a taste. Let's start off with one of these salt and pepper Iceland Chinese takeaway style chips. Now they've got a lot of flavour to them from the seasoning, but they don't taste like Chinese chips. I mean, they've got a lot of flavour to them from the seasoning pack that come with them, but other than that, it just tastes like oven chips. They don't taste like Chinese chips. The seasoning sachet is a nice seasoning, but you can make some like yourself at home, and you can make some nicer chips than this at home. So, I mean, they're not terrible. The oven chips are pretty good, but I don't think I'll buy them again. Let's try a piece of this crispy sweet chili shredded beef. Oh man, that's good. Now it's not as crispy as when I get it from the takeaway. I did notice when I was cooking it in the sauce it softened up quite a lot, but the meat quality is so much higher than what you get when you get from a takeaway. That is absolutely delicious. Obviously my pork, I've made this before, I've had this on the channel before, but this is one of my favourite dishes. This is absolutely amazing. Just melt in your mouth. Really sweet chunks of belly pork. Grab a few of these noodles, look, and try it with some of this beef. Wow, yeah, that's a really good dish. So there you go. I'm going to go and I'm going to get stuck into this, and I'll catch you next time.